Welcome, everyone, to All Women Driven, the podcast all about women in automotive and now all about women in motorsports. I'm your host, Sarah Davis, and right now we are working our way through some Rebelle Rally teams. We will be joining Rebelle Rally for their tech inspection and starting line this year. So we are really excited to bring forth some teams, highlight them, how they got started in Rebelle, and then once we get to that tech inspection and starting line, give you a look into what all goes into starting at the starting line of Rebelle. So let's get into this week's interview. Hi, Sam.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Great. So, what are you driving in Rebelle?
So in the Rebelle, I drive a 2017 Toyota 4Runner, and it's not even a TRD. It's just like the SE.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And you don't have a teammate yet.
I don't have a teammate yet. So I had my rookie year last year with a really awesome teammate, had an awesome experience with Lauren McCullough, and she just has too much going on in life because life is life and can't do it this year. So I think we might be less than 80 days out, and I still don't have a partner. I'm not too worried about it, but yeah, I'm definitely looking for that Navigator.
Okay. So are you looking for a Navigator that can both navigate and drive, or are you primarily looking for just get the navigation?
I think it's an 80-20. So I am good to be like the full-time driver if a Navigator doesn't want to do that. But I've also been self-training myself on navigation after doing the Rebelle last year. So I'm open to doing like a swap roles and learning from a Navigator as well.
Okay. Now, I did hear to be a Navigator, you have to have at least one Rebelle U or similar training for navigation this year. Is that correct?
That is the new it's not a rule, but I guess the new requirement for this year. We were like, I mean, Emily knows. We were like, when I say like rookies, like me and Lauren were kind of like last year when we talked to other rookies. Lauren and I were like, we called ourselves like legit rookies. We were two people that found out we were going to the Rebelle 3 months before the Rebelle and literally just the equivalent of like walking off the street being like, hey, let's go do this. And we did fine.
Did you guys do a Rebelle U or any training at all?
We did not. So we had never done Rebelle U. Lauren trained, we tried, because we're East Coast Rebelles as well, which is a unique aspect altogether. Because the landscape is so different. Like if we do navigation training here, it's still not really what navigation where you have all these open, like you can see in the behind me where I can see. Most of where I am, because I'm in Atlanta, is just trees. So it's a very different kind of land navigation. And so we found out 3 months before, and we did at the time had not done any of the Rebelle U's. Lauren did a navigation training with one of the experienced Rebelles up in North Carolina. And basically that's it. We did there's a map club with Nina Barlow. And so we did that. And then we just went in, and it's not for everybody, but that's what we did.
Okay. So this year, are you doing more training? Have you been able to get out there and work on it a little bit more?
So I'm not in a place where I can fly out West Coast or transport my vehicle there regularly. There's just cost associated with that. And with my career and being a mom, I'm just not free to do that. But I have been doing training as far as like driving off road, and then the vehicle's getting more upgrades this year. So I'm really in charge of that, is making sure the vehicle runs as a driver. That's what you're like responsible for. But I have done training here. I met a wonderful person here, local to me at the time, named Jax Jinga, which you can check her out. She's on the latest season of Alone, which is really cool. She's the only woman on Alone, but she's like an expert survivalist and expert in land navigation. And so we met up a couple times to talk about to kind of just like get my brain set about navigating on these maps and what things mean and stuff like that. And so that really helped to where I'm really comfortable with like plotting points and looking at the Rebelle maps and all that.
Yeah. So we're in Kansas, so we have a similar situation here. You try and go on a trail and it's pretty much dirt roads.
You can train, like I want to say, like for people that are trying to practice that are East Coast, you can still train you can go out, you can get the Terra trip, you guys can map your routes like you're going to do, and then get used to the, measuring how long that looks on a map, driving that, finding where it is. But when it comes like to this vast thing where you're taking like a heading in a distance and like triangulation, that just doesn't really exist out here unless you get on top of a tree.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, we have a flatter landscape, so we would probably have a little bit easier time with the heading portion of it. But yeah, no, we have too much farmland.
It's just
Yeah,
not the same as being out in the Rebelle.
No.
But I would say you could still train. Obviously,
Yeah.
Lauren and I trained. We never flew. I'm not saying like, I really do advocate going out to those courses if you have financially available and have the time to go out to Rebelle U. You can rent a vehicle from Nina Barlow and go do the training in Glamis. Like the first time I touched sand was in Glamis. So, I mean, I'm not saying that what Lauren and I is what everybody should do. And it's, as you can tell, not what Rebelle wants you to do, but it's.
What works for you may not work for everyone else.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I have a unique experience.
Yes. So a good resource would be the Facebook group, the unofficial Rebelle prep group.
Yep.
I think there's wonderful ladies in there that are like, yeah, I've competed. I can talk to you. I'm in your area. I'll come help you.
I did that last year.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that happening in the Rebelle group. So that's a great resource there. Everyone's pretty much in that. So going out there, what are your expectations for this year? Do you have a favorite area that you hope to see that you saw last year?
Well, no, because I don't know. Have you heard about the route this year?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, it's like, other than it starting in Vegas, I am one of those people that does not care for Vegas. Everything great about Vegas is about an hour and a half outside of Vegas.
Exactly.
And that's basically where we're going to be, right? Is we're going through Vegas up to Utah, back down to Glamis. So I mean, honestly, the terrain the US is fascinating. And one of the things you will notice is like these territories that we get to see, like some of them, I remember me and Lauren like going through like a really tight space, and Emily Miller and the team, they plan it that way. Like they want it to be theatrical for you, like where you can't even believe it. And so like we're coming through a space and you kind of know something's coming up, right? And then like it just opens up and you're dropping down in the Death Valley and it just looks like you've gotten dropped like on Mars, because you're just like, this doesn't look like it exists here. So I'm excited to see what Emily has planned as far as like what we're going to see, because she's very theatric in making sure the routes we take are breathtaking or some kind of experience, to the point of where a checkpoint is. She put it there because they want you to see something, like take a moment to look around, because it was specifically put there for you to experience or see something. So I know go ahead.
That's a different way of thinking about it. Because I've been talking to mostly ladies that have been doing this for years upon years.
Yeah.
And they don't really think of it that way. It's a checkpoint. You get to it. There are some pretty sights and everything, but I love that viewpoint that she's putting her plots somewhere for a reason.
Yeah.
For a certain view. I absolutely love that.
It's hard to do that because when you are out there, that is what you're thinking. But Emily will make sure to say, either at the morning drivers meeting or at the end of the day, she'll say, I hope you guys took a moment to look around. Now, unfortunately, I am a driver, so all I do is look around. So there are moments where I we'd see something and it'd be like ridiculous. Like the trees were so yellow in Sierra Nevada that it was like nuts. Like I'd like literally told Lauren, who's like bent over like this, and I'm like, Lauren, I need you to look. So I see a lot more than navigators see. So the navigators will joke, being like, we don't see anything, Emily, we just are looking at. But she does do that. It is theatrical. Okay. Like the route is not, she goes out and does the route. She goes out and looks at what it is. It's not like we're using it's not like they're using OnX to like just route everything out. She's doing it purposely. So it takes a moment for you to realize to take the competition hat off and actually enjoy where you're at. Okay. Maybe that's because I'm an East Coast Rebelle, so you're like, we don't see this all the time, so we're like everything's like new to us.
Everything's just spectacular.
Yeah.
I've heard that this year they're ending in the Imperial Dunes.
Yep.
how do you do in the dunes? I know that navigating there and driving there can be a little bit crazy or a little bit on the harder side of things.
We were pretty good last year. I got, again, back to that group. Like every Rebelle, no matter how seasoned they are, is there to help you be successful if you just ask for help. So luckily I got to go in, what is it, Big Dune or something in Nevada with Nina right before the Rebelle. So I had at least touched sand before. But it wasn't that bad. We did stay, Lauren and I stayed safe, really. I plan on doing like the X route this year. It's like a goal. Like that's what we're doing is the X route. And so that will get a little bit iffy. But when we went into Glamis, you know, I come from racing. And one of the things I noticed with the sand is like it shifts, but the same thing kind of happens when you're like in drifting. And so if you know how to like handle that, like if your car kind of things, you feel it, you just really have to know your vehicle and not be dumb about it. Like and like, I will say one thing is like, if you're going to commit to something, you better commit to it. Because the moment you hesitate in that sand is when you're like either stuck or you're going to put yourself in a situation that's not good.
Yeah. So you mentioned your history in racing. What else have you raced in?
So I have done, so I'm an enthusiast. I've done, since I was younger, done drag racing. I've been on the track. I've been in vehicles for drifting. I've taken like a drift clinic. And then my husband is not a professional racer, but I would say like, he's definitely in the racing scene. Like he was just at an SCCA race the night before.
Okay. So is it family history that brought you into the automotive motorsports, or is it something that you just fell in love with?
No, I'm not a generational automotive, which I hear that term in my career as well. I'm not generational. The only one in my family that likes automotive, but I got into cars for a boy. And so what I tell people is the boy didn't stick around, but the car enthusiast did.
I love that. I am a generational. My great-grandfather owned a car dealership. Both of my uncles work at the dealership. My dad works here. My husband works here. We're all at the dealership. But I mean, I never thought I would be in the automotive world. I thought I was going to work with kids. And here we are. So
most of the time, I'm going to say this statement, at least in my career, because I am also, you know, my automotive is also in my personal life. Like I'm an enthusiast. I told you my husband owns a shop, but also it's in my career. My career is automotive focused. We have a joke in our world, at least for the women. Most of us are not just like, oh man, I'm going to go be a catalog analyst and be expert at product data for automotive parts. That's what I want to do. Like you just kind of fall into this and you're like, and then once you're here, you're like, all right, well, I'm kind of stuck here. So
yeah. I get that. I mean, we have some women here at the dealership that they just were looking for a job and they fell into it. It used to be women were clerical. They weren't in sales. They weren't in things like that. So,
I said, we're good at sales though.
Oh yeah. What I have found is women can typically relate with the family dynamic.
Yeah.
And so they can be really good at that family dynamic when it comes to sales. But like all our women here are clerical. We have some in our internet department, our internet sales, completely women. We don't have any men in that department. And then we occasionally have women in our sales team. But it can be a daunting world out there in this world.
It's come a long way, but I'm like I would consider myself like maybe an executive level within the automotive industry. And I moved my way up past 10 years on the corporate side. And I would say there's plenty of times where I'm the only woman in a room, but it doesn't bother me at all. I think because I come from a background of IT, so IT is also male dominated. Then you get automotive is male dominated, and it's double most of the time for me. But I find it more fun to be like the only woman that I will tell you, like, we've come a long way and I'm trying to say it's all equal and stuff like that, but it is what it is. Right. And so like I specifically, when I start a new role or like my email, it literally says Sam Russo, because most of the time up until they get on a call with me, they will assume that I'm male. And so I do that on purpose. Let me establish credibility out the gate and then get on a call. And then they're like, oh, wait, she's a female.
Oh yeah. So with
Yeah.
me, we have a YouTube channel for our dealership where we talk all things Ford news information. My dad is the spearhead of that channel. He does a lot of the product videos on it, and then I'm in the live stream. And so unless they watch the live stream, they don't realize that there is a woman on our team.
Yeah.
And so when I answer the phone, they're like, "Hey, I'm supposed to be getting over to Tim." And I'm like, "Uh-huh, I'm his assistant." They're like, "Well, I want to talk to Tim. I have a question on the product." And I'm like,
Okay, what's your question?
"Okay, what's your question? I can help you." What really helps is when I say, "Okay, great. Ask me your question. If I don't know the answer, I'll get with Tim, and then it's a learning opportunity for both of us."
Yeah.
At that point, they usually ask the question, and typically I can answer it. So, yeah, it's a world. It's something to get used to.
Yeah, you just gotta get used to it. I mean, I hate to say that because then it feels like we're just accepting it. But I mean, like, it's like a certain level of skin when you're
it's
here.
not just us that have to get used to it. It's also the guys. The
Yeah.
guys are getting used to it. I see a lot more guys that are open to it now, that are getting used to it. So it's getting used to on both sides of things.
Yeah.
So, but with your racing history, you said you drifted. You've done some drifting.
I would not claim to be a drifter. I have definitely been exposed to that scene and been in vehicles. And then I've taken like a drifting clinic when Tracy Shavehorn and Battleground was a thing like 10 years ago, is what I'll say. So I know the techniques, but I've never been like, I will not claim that title.
Okay. Did you say drag racing in there?
Yeah, I used to do drag racing. I feel like everybody, and obviously street racing, because we all grew up. I'm of the generation where we grew up where Fast and Furious was like life.
Right. So I grew up where like I got to see a couple of them in theaters.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of inspired some reckless
like I
driving.
come from that generation when like the first one came out. I think I was like 14, and then the second one came out, and then like it's like we were literally like hanging out in parking lots doing street racing. Like it was what I tell people, like what you saw there is kind of what I mean, other than like some of the stuff was really kind of how the scene was back in that time.
Yeah. So for your drag racing, was it sand or was it track?
Oh, it was track. It wasn't
Track.
dirt.
No?
I'm in Georgia. We don't have sand, but we have red Georgia clay.
Okay, because I have spoken to another racer that did drag in sand. So,
Cool.
yeah, she now drives monster trucks. So Ashley Sanford, go check her out.
Okay, I will. That's like
she was doing pretty good at the World Finals this year.
Wow, that's cool.
So, let's see. So you said your husband is in the automotive industry. So he has a shop?
Yep, we own the Speed Foundry here in Norcross, Georgia, which pretty much focuses on anything performance. Obviously, they have a really, really well-known tuner in-house as well. But I would say like his main demographic is probably Ford Mustangs, Porsches, and Subarus, which is a weird mix, but that is we are the Subaru people.
That makes sense. Subaru is I think pretty popular around here.
Yeah, you're a little bit more northern. We've owned, so my husband and I met because of Subarus. We've owned together, we've owned every generation of Subaru STI or WRX other than the most recent one. And I like Subarus. I probably would never own a Subaru again. And I've owned multiple. So they keep the business busy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I personally am a Ford girly. I've grown up in the Ford industry. So
yeah. I mean, we
Ford
like
all
Fords.
the way.
We have the Ford GT350 and then we have the matching Ford F250. So I would love for the F250 to be a King Ranch. It is not, but here we are.
I can help with that.
I know. I'm like, I can help with that. Yeah.
All right. So you are looking for a partner. Is there anything that you're looking specifically for in a partner?
Somebody who wants to have fun. I am very smart and very handy and very capable, but I am competitive, but man, you've interviewed some of these rebels. Like, I'm not saying that there's no chance that I would ever make podium, but I'm a realist, right? Like, last year we had the goal of coming in like right in the 30s, which was still aspirational when you look at the lineup from the 10th anniversary. Yeah. And we were right there until day 5, and then it just kind of like tanked. But so I'm real aspirational to just do better than last year and to have fun while you're doing it. So one of the things on mine is like, I like to have fun. Like, it's a very stressful atmosphere sometimes. And so like, if you're not able to kind of, I think I talked to Andrea the other day, and I was like, if the person's not able to just basically fail every day and get up the next day and be like, all right, what are we doing today? Or be really, really lost and just kind of like get out of the car and just kind of laugh about like, where the hell are we? Then it's probably not a good match. I am competitive, but I know some people like that's like really serious for them. And so that's where I'm like, I need somebody that's like balanced, that's competitive, but at the same time if I could find at the same time as a goofball would be great. Might be.
Right. Man, if I had the ability to take off and join you, I would. Totally.
Most people, it's like they want to do it. A lot of the times it comes up is the money aspect of it. And so I'm like aspirational and thinking that, hey, if I can just raise all the money through sponsors, somebody will come and be like, oh, I'll come do this. So I have raised most of it. Like the second payment's done. And now all that we have is the last payment, which is like $5,035. And then whatever but you have the photo package, you have the tracking gear, and then on top of that, you have gas and then the overall expense of traveling. Yeah. So I would say like, if I got a partner now, we're like more than halfway, 60%. And then now it's just like that last payment and then the additional stuff.
Okay. Yeah. I've talked with this. I like to bring this up. Communication language. How do you communicate with a navigator?
So I actually know my communication type because if you follow, I'm in corporate, which everybody knows that's a sport on its own. And I kind of thrive pretty well in corporate, but I know my personality type. My personality type, if you follow DISC, is an off the charts DI, and I'm an adaptive I, which basically just means I'm somebody that you can tell me once and I'm already off taking care of it. But I had realized I needed to be able to work with other people. So I'm also an influencer where it's kind of like I'm really social and I learned how to be approachable. So my communication style with a navigator is the way we learned it with me and Lauren is we became like an extension of each other. So with a navigator, they will tell you this, just looking down at a map, right? Yeah. They're not looking up and around. And so I learned very quickly, like when you get bumpy or you're doing something or there's a sudden stop or something like that, is like, I'll just sit there, and especially when she's like looking at the route and she's like, there should be like 2 roads on your right. And I'll be like, all right, we're passing that road. Okay, we're passing another one. And then she'll be like, okay, you should have like this mountain up ahead. And I'm like, yeah, I see it. And so like you become an extension of each other. And I think that's how it should function, is you all of a sudden become like, I become her eyes and she becomes my like where I'm supposed to go. So it's like she's the brain and I'm the eyes, in making sure that we don't die as well. But like that's where the communication is. It has to be very open. The other thing I will say, because I have also talked to multiple people from Rebelle last year, Sarah, and I don't know if you get this different. Not everybody had the experience that Lauren and I had, is what I said. Now, this is a very stressful atmosphere. Just drop yourself into. No matter how prepared you are for it, it does test you in ways that you don't know, and you come out being able to handle certain things or not. It's one of those, Emily will tell you, it's one of those things you either do it once and you're like, that's not for me, or you do it once and you're like, God, I got to do this every year. And so Lauren and we were really good at really respecting each other and respecting the human aspect of it, that somebody can make a mistake, and freaking out on them or belittling them or yelling about it is not going to change the fact that a mistake was made, because I'll make a mistake, she'll make a mistake. And the best thing we can do is just be like, okay, well, we're lost. We messed up. Let's figure out how to get unlost together. Yeah. A lot of what I talked to with other people, maybe there was a certain dynamic inside the vehicle that wasn't great. And I just know that Lauren and I were very much respectful of each other as humans. And
Mhm.
there were moments where, and she'll tell you the same thing, where we would snap. Like there was a moment where, and she'll laugh when she watched this because she knows, we both know, where I was really, usually I'm like really cool, like let's just go, this is fine, I'm having a good time, right? And there was one time where I'm like packing up stuff and it's really dark in the morning, right? Like when we get up at 5 a.m. It's still dark outside. You can't see anything. And she would take my keys to go put the stuff in the car. And then she came back and I guess sat them somewhere and didn't communicate to me that she did that. And so then I went to go get the keys. And I was like, by the time we were getting ready to leave, I didn't have my keys. Luckily, I had like a valet key. But like in that moment, I was like mad. And I was mad because all it took was to communicate, hey, you lost this. But I was probably more mad about other things. But it was just that one thing that was like, I've lost my keys. And so she was like apologizing. I was like, Lauren, it's okay. Like, I understand you can't do anything, but it's also okay that I'm upset right now. Like, I'm upset right now.
Yeah.
I've lost my keys. We did find them later, but there was like
Yeah.
that moment where it's just respecting the human aspect of people mess up, and you will mess up in the Rebelle. One day it'll be you, the next day it'll be your partner. And so it's just realizing that you're going to mess up, and to be respectful and have empathy and realize the other person and be in the other person's spot at the same time.
Yeah. So do you do better with, hey, you're going to be turning left at the next road, or do you do better with, hey, you're going to be turning left in 5.2 miles?
I think Lauren was better at, because I do look at the Terra trip, was being like, hey, we've got a left coming up here. And then I would say, about what point? Because you can't see anything else out there. Yeah. And so she would just tell me, she'd measure really fast and tell me what distance. The other thing is landmarks. So like if she's like, hey, you should have like a split in the road. And I'll be like, okay, I see a split in the road.
Yeah. So I bring that up because my husband and I had to figure out how to communicate with each other when we're driving. Like it's crazy because I do well with getting the exit number, and I sit there and repeat the exit number over and over and over. So if I know that I need to go 3 roads down and then turn left, I like that because I go, okay, 1, 2, 3, turn left at the next one. Yeah. He likes to have mileage. Hey, you're going to take the next exit in 5.9 miles. He does well with that because he can visualize in his head how far 5.9 miles is. I cannot.
No, I don't know if I could do that. It's kind of like I almost want both. Like it's like I'll look, hey, you're going to turn at after the third stoplight. I'm like, okay. But the third stoplight could be 3 blocks or it could be a mile, depending on where you are. So
yes. Yeah. Exactly. But he can actually visualize distance in his head.
I can visualize how long it might take. Maybe that's not so much distance, but like if I'm on the highway and I'm going 80 miles an hour and it's 5 miles, then it's pretty quick.
Right. I can't do that. My brain can't comprehend that. It can't.
The distance.
Yeah.
Hey, we got some enduro math that'll help you.
Oh, yeah.
Time and distance. And it'll tell you if you're going this miles per hour and you have to go this distance, it's about this much time.
I can do that. I can look at my speedometer or at my mileage and go, okay, yep, I'm going this. Like I can do that.
But if somebody's calling it out to you?
Yeah. But yeah, no, so that's why I ask about communication language, because like I've talked to Melissa, and Melissa's like, oh yeah, I'm definitely like this, and her partner's like, I'm like this. So
you're talking about like Melissa Clark?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's a friend.
Catherine Reinhardt and all that. Catherine is the reason why I got into it.
Okay.
But Melissa trained me on enduro math, so I feel sick.
Yeah. Melissa is amazing. She's with Kristen Matlock this year.
Yeah, I know. I saw. I was like, Ford went out to win this year. They're like, we're just going to make podium. If not, we're going to take the whole podium.
Their lineup is killer this year. Like, you have a pod of sharks there.
I know. When that came out, I literally like messaged people that were in. I was like, Ford's not playing. They came out and were like, we're either going to take the podium or take all of it.
Yeah. I think there was some disappointment last year because it was the anniversary of Raptor, and they really wanted the Raptors at podium, and they only got
Oh.
one. So I think they were disappointed. So this year they're going for a full fourth.
Yeah, no.
First
I
and
will
fourth.
tell you, it's not so much the vehicle as it is the Navigator.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. So Melissa's made a name for driving the Bronco Sport,
Yeah.
moving over to Bronco. She had said in her interview the Bronco Raptor is too easy. She prefers the technicality of the Bronco Sport and having to be technical about it. The
Yeah.
Raptor was too easy to drive. She's like, I'm not challenged. I need to be challenged. So she's gone back to navigating this year.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So
That's
she's
cool.
navigating. Matlock will be the driver. And Matlock's been competing in Baja for,
Yeah.
I think she said 10 years.
Yeah, no,
So.
I looked at the lineup and I was like, well, Ford came not to play. They were like,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So it'll be an interesting year. Should be good. But hopefully you can find your navigator.
Yeah, I think it'll be all right. I've already got Emily Miller and Andrea are already calling me being like, hey, we'll find you a navigator. I was like, yeah, I'm not too worried about it, but it's
like I said, I would join you if I could take the time off and get a Rebelle U in or a session with Melissa.
Yeah, that's the caveat. There's a lot of rookies that want to do it, but with the caveat of, I think when I posted in the group, I said just recently last week, I said, hey, I'm still looking for a navigator, you know, especially because I've kind of knocked out a big part of the financial aspect of it. I was like, but I said, keep in mind that Rebelle is requiring a Rebelle U navigation.
And I think I saw Rebelle U or an equivalent.
Yes, I think that's more of a fine print of just,
yeah.
Because I have like reached out to them to see if Jax could do it with me.
Okay.
But she is different. It's, what is it? What's the, oh, now I'm blanking. But the other way that the reason why they want you to do that, for anybody that watches this, is Rebelle navigation is not the universal land navigation, is what I've learned. Because there's usually, it's the UBM or something like that navigation where it's a grid blocks and stuff like that.
Okay.
The type of navigation that Rebelle does is kind of more similar to like the navigation you would do on a boat when you're out in the ocean.
Okay.
And so that's why, like, any of the, is it UTM? It might be UTM. Any of the navigation courses that we do out here in the East Coast, which is like land navigation, I've reached out to multiple of them. They're like, we do the UTM, which is the more universal. It's like Jax made the joke saying it's the one thing that the planet has agreed on is navigation. And the Rebelle navigation is uniquely Rebelle, is what Emily will tell you. Can you train on it? Yeah, but you probably need to have another Rebelle train you on how to deal with the checkpoint sheets, how to do conversions if your stuff's in minutes and seconds, but it's in degrees and stuff like that, and make sure that you don't get, because if you're off by a little bit, you're off by a lot. And so I think it's not what I told somebody was messaging me, or I think it was you, and I said, it's dumb. It's not hard once you get it. Like once you get it and you can kind of keep yourself organized on it, it's not hard, but to getting the understanding is just, it takes a little bit. And that's why they want you out there at Rebelle U for a couple days.
Yeah. Well, from what I saw, like Nina is doing a class. I know Melissa's done a couple of lessons and things as well. So I think from what I read through the rule book a little bit, and on that I took it as Rebelle U or one of those courses taught by a very experienced Rebelle lady.
Yep. That was the caveat. So, because obviously Nina has a lot of stuff and she's going down this route of Barlow Adventures, I think. So she's going to get more into the events and trainings, I think.
Yeah. And like Melissa's doing trainings, and then her and her husband do the, tours, ghost town tours.
Tours, yeah.
So, it's that caveat I could see could be a roadblock, especially getting so close to Rebelle.
Yes. It's the financial. It's not so much, and Andrea will tell you this too. Usually most people hesitating for Rebelle is because of the cost.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like the full Rebelle, like I'm pretty much gone from here for like at least a week and a half.
Yes.
but it's a big financial. But what I tell people when they get the sticker shock of Rebelle is I say it's not just like showing up to a race for a day when you're at the track and blah, blah, blah. Like, and it's not just like a group of people going out on a hill climb or like a mountain run where we all just show up here and everybody's like, okay, we're going to go here and we'll all camp together. It's a production. Like at this point, the way you see them execute this, it's a production. It could literally be on Discovery TV. And it's live streamed at YouTube. Like there is full staff. I can't imagine the cost of safety equipment, the video equipment, the staff, insurance, the permits that go into it, the planning that goes into it. Yeah. Plus they feed us. Like we're all fed. I was like, when you do the math of like one track day is probably $1,000. We're going out here for like 8 days. It's the maths correctly. It's just a lot of money.
Yeah. So they have chefs. They have a 5-star chef out there, a whole team to help him prepare the food. They have to travel and cook that food. They have to also feed all of them. Then they have the mechanics because they do have mechanics to help in case of emergencies and whatnot. So they have to feed them and they have to employ them for that time. Then you have the camera
photographers, the camera crew.
They all drive vehicles out into the course getting footage on top of everything else. So there's gas for them. Moving this encampment is also needing gas on top of it because
and it's an impressive
basically a roving camp.
Yeah.
It's massive. That people don't realize that on a scale, this is huge.
It's a production event. Like if you said it was something that gets broadcast like any like the
NASCAR.
Not NASCAR. It's not like NASCAR, but like
it's not
King of the Hammers. Like King of the Hammers. Like it's something like big that legit could be put on TV, but it's just streamed on YouTube. I think people need to understand like it's a big production. Like my mom was like, "What are you doing? You're going out in the middle of the desert and with no technology. Like this doesn't feel safe." I was like, "No, Mom. Like it's safe. Trust me." They're like, "It's very, very safe." The first thing that everyone cares about
at all times. They have your location.
Oh no, they do. Trust me. I talked to even Jax who did Alone season 13, right? Like it's like you're alone. Like I'm alone right here, but I'm not alone, right? Like if something went wrong or if I was sitting there for too long, usually what happens is you'll see this like drone all of a sudden show up and you're like, this dumb drone, go away. But yeah, we have satellite phones, tracking equipment. We're alone, but we're being babysat.
Iridium is their tracking system.
Yep.
So they pair with Iridium. Iridium provides the GPS,
the tracker.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And your vehicle is equipped with a tracker as well. So like no, they know exactly where you are.
Yeah, we had one where we were like really lost and then all of a sudden we were on private property. And so they like called us. They're like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, "Well, I thought I was going the right direction." And they're like, "You need to turn around. You're on private property." Like,
love that.
Got it.
So have you seen the tracking system that we can use while you guys are out there?
I've not logged in there and looked. I've seen like the brief thing where you just see like
yeah. So it's kind of fun because like I went to the finish line last year to get coverage on the Ford teams.
Yeah.
And we could follow y'all on the tracker and saw how close you were to coming in and all of that. And so then we're like the 4 teams were coming in. They're like, "Where are we? What does it look like?" And we're like, "Well, you haven't completed yet." And even then, like the final score doesn't come out till everyone's finished.
Yep.
But we're like, "Yeah, you're looking like this. You're looking about here." Or I know Krista and Trista made podium last year, and their husbands were like, "You did it. Your podium. You've made it." And so like they had no idea, but we'd been sitting there for like 4 hours already, like watching everyone go through the final stage.
Yeah.
So it's quite fun to sit there and just have it open on my desktop while I'm at work. Just watching
I think my husband had it open like at the shop, like on the TV. And he said there was plenty of times where like Lauren and I were like so close to something. It could be like a black diamond or something. And you like, they can like on the screen, you guys can see, you're like right there. And then all of a sudden we're just like, meh.
Yes.
It's not that. Then you go over here and you click and you're like, "Oh, that was wrong."
Oh yeah. There were so many times where I'm like, no, turn.
Yeah, I
So
can't
many
imagine. That's got to be really frustrating.
frustrating, but also like, oh my gosh, this is amazing to watch because we can't be on the course unless you are credentialed media.
Yeah.
So it does bring an atmosphere of fun and being able to watch the race from afar.
Watch where we're at that day.
Yeah. So it is kind of fun. So well, hopefully you find your navigator.
I will.
I mean you're pretty much funded, so you'll find a navigator. But
Yeah, I'm not too worried. I have a couple people that Andrea sent my way. One I'm supposed to talk to next week. She did it in 2018 and 2019.
okay.
And then there's a couple because they just did the big thing in Montana, and there's a couple of rookies that went up there and took that course. And so now, of course, like I want to do the Rebelle, and so Andrea's trying to be like, you can, and see if they're like ready to just be like, all right, I'm gonna jump on this train.
Yeah, I get that. So it's been so much fun getting to know you. Hopefully, the people that you're looking for find your video. You can share this, of course.
All right.
And hopefully it can give them a sense of who you are and if you're a good fit.
Thank you. I appreciate you taking the time, Sarah.
Yeah, of course. I will see you at the starting line and tech inspection. And hopefully I can get you on afterwards with your teammate and do an after how'd it go.
We'll see how that goes with the Forerunner and doing the X route this year.
Yes. All right. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining me for another week of All Women Driven, the podcast all about women in automotive. I've been your host, Sarah Davis. Join me next time for another dive into Rebelle. Bye.